Talk That Talk TV, we back again.
Welcome to Talk That Talk Media, where the vibe is live. DJ and Tika are hype, keeping dreams alive. Welcome to Talk That Talk Media, where the vibe is live. DJ and Tika are hype, keeping dreams alive. Bringing you reactions, reviews and slick recaps. Join the conversation, no time for mishaps. Trends will uncover, every beat devoured with fresh insights and energy will never tire. From pop culture to the latest in the game, dive in with us. You want to stake your claim, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Talk That Talk Media. Welcome to Talk That Talk Media.
Hey, what's up? What is going on, everybody? What's up, TDT crew / squad? I'm gonna decide which one I want to call y'all because I forgot. But it's your girl Noszka.
And it's your girl EJ.
And tonight, y'all, we are here to discuss All's Fair Season 1, Episode 5. So, EJ, let's just go ahead and get on into it because I know you saw the episode. What were your initial thoughts on this episode?
Yeah. It was crazy. It was actually a pretty good episode. I enjoyed the episode. They had me intrigued. I was like, oh, okay, let me see what's going down. I felt like I already liked Car, but I liked her for all the wrong reasons. But now they're actually trying to give her this like humane side because like Car is one of those people like you can love her or hate her. But if you love her, you probably just love her nonchalantness, her boldness, her just I don't give a damn attitude. Like that's what I enjoy about her. I just like the way she be coming at folks. But in this particular episode, we saw her let her guard down a little bit. And low key, I was side-eyeing her too over there with Chase. Like, girl, no, stop it. This is not a good look.
Right. Absolutely. I'm here with you on that one, EJ. We definitely dove in more her and we got to know a little bit more about her. There's so many things that's going on with her that we just we see the outside of her, we see the side that's super aggressive, the extra of her, but this episode literally broke her down. It showed us who she really is at this moment. And so I was here for it. I ain't gonna even rate it. I was just enjoying the episode as a whole. If y'all enjoyed the episode, drop in the chat. Let us know what you guys thought about the episode. And shout out to Queen, and thank you for tapping in. And shout out to Demetria Richburg. Thank you for coming through. P. Bronson, hey there, hey. Okay, thank y'all for coming on in. And so just like EJ started and we started, we'll go ahead and talk about the one and only Carrington Lane, okay? Because she has some things going on, y'all. And I was just like, oh my God, did I not know at all? First of all, we find out that Carrington has a daughter by the name of Amabel. And Amabel is sort of like her mama. She's a big sarcastic. She's, hell, they twinning, if you ask me. She's very intelligent. We know that much. We find that much out. But we also find out that it's her birthday. And the girl ain't got no friends like her mama. Like they're just alike. They have no friends. So she tries to give her these exquisite cupcakes to try to invite a few people over to the party or to what could be a party. But how you gonna have a party with no friends, right? Well, she says you can invite my nanny, you can invite the music teacher, like anybody except some kids under the age of 65 were invited. She also mentions Sebastian. And she asked her mom, well, why don't you and, Sebastian hang out the way that you used to? Like, what is going on? What happened there? And so we're gonna definitely get into a little bit more of Sebastian. But EJ, any thoughts on the fact that, wow, Cara actually has a child? Like, who knew?
Okay, that part. I was like, did we miss that part? Did they skip that part? Because I had no clue. But I do actually like her daughter. Her daughter is low-key, she low-key cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like she just accepts her mom as she is. And we know that Car has a lot of flaws. But the baby girl ain't got no friends. That was just sad. I was like, dang. But I'm a loner, so and I know it don't feel like that. I feel like I am very much not that person, but I am okay with being by myself. So I don't know. Having friends is overrated sometimes. It's good and it's bad. I guess I could take it either way, but I did like her. I just hope that she's able to handle it. I like the little conversation they was having when they was in the office. That's what I liked.
Well, we're definitely going to get to that because we are literally stepping inside the world of Carrington Lane as well as her daughter Amabel. And mentioning moving on, we see where Carrington has a case. Now she goes to this case, but she's late, and the client goes by the name of, what was her name? Hell, I forgot. Fallow, Willow Fallow. She was a butthole anyway. I mean, like, how can a character represent someone who's like just like her? But that was the case. But with that being said, she was late, and because she was late, Willow was already kind of like side-eyeing her. But then not only was she side-eyeing her, Carrington looks down at her phone, and there's a memory that pops up of her. I'm assuming it's Sebastian. We're gonna find out later on that it is Sebastian and her daughter, and it's like 1 year ago. So what happened to this friend? They're building it up for us, y'all, to figure out who this friend is, aka Sebastian. And then we see where she is. She starts to cry like this. Carrington actually got tears. Like, I was like, what? Like, she actually cries. So I was just like, okay, oh my God. Okay, they're giving her some feelings. They're making her human. I understand. I see where we're going with this whole thing. Then we also see that she is, she's going up against opposing counsel, aka Alberta Dome, who's portrayed by Lorraine Toussaint, aka Queen Latifah's mama from Equalizer, and so many other projects, y'all. This queen has been in some of everything. But we find out that, after Carl walks out of this, after she basically quits because she was like, I know you're about to fire me anyway, so I quit. Oh gosh. Alberta goes outside, she talks to her, and she was like, you look like you need a friend, and here's my card, call me. You know what I mean? So Are they two queens in a pod? EJ, what were your thoughts on just her having that little breakdown literally in the middle of this whole case situation, and then her meeting afterwards Alberta Dome?
I was like, oh, so she is a real person. Okay. I was, that's exactly what I thought about her initially, because at the end of the day, sometimes Cara doesn't really feel like a real person. It just feels like she enjoys this place that she's in. But it really felt like, nah, I really don't enjoy this place that I am in. And I actually had someone that I really cared about. And clearly something has happened. We don't know at that point, but clearly whatever it was evoked an emotion in her. And we know that she don't really be showing emotions like that. Like, she really piles, like, she really tries to cover things up. And especially in the middle of a meeting like this, she definitely doesn't. I didn't like the way old girl came at her anyway, the little chick who used to play on Once Upon a Time. I don't know what her name is, but I did used to like that show. Once Upon a Time is my show. But that's what she played in. The lady, when she was like, you're late. Listen, she is going through some stuff. Like, read the room, lady. Stop playing. But I love seeing Queen Latifah's mama from Equalizer come up in here. I was like, okay. But I did not like that I didn't like the reasoning. I know I don't really have a strong connection to them other ladies over there yet, but they are still the main cast. We can't just, I can't just be going against them. Like, come on, man.
Right. Yep. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. But we also see where she done slid her little hot tail over there to Chase. Okay. She's over there, and it's almost as if, of course there's an attraction. He's a handsome, sexy man, but she's there more like, kind of like, to me, she wasn't giving that sexual energy. Like he was giving more sexual energy than she was, but she was also drinking, but she was able to restrain herself from like really getting down and dirty, because she was telling him, your hair is greasy, like you need to wash your hair. And he was saying, well, basically wash it for me. And so they literally do just that. He sits down, takes his little pants off, sit down in the chair outside. That was a dope ass shower too. I can't even lie. That was a nice shower on the outside where the pool was. I know it's like the little pool shower. So she sits down in the chair. She was washing his hair. She was getting all sensual, and he kind of getting turned on by the situation. And I was just like, Cara, you better not. Like, I already don't like you sometimes, but you better not do what it looks like you about to do. And thankfully, y'all, she was able to restrain herself, even though she was drunk as whatever, and ends up getting pulled over by the popo and ends up having to go to the jail cell, y'all. And EJ, what did you think about their moment? The moment between Chase as well as Carl?
Crazy. Like what? Like Chase, all he want to do is get down and dirty with any and everybody at this point. I told you that man spreading his seed all over the place. Now you want to spread your seed over here with your lawyer, the lady that's supposed to be helping you with this divorce. Like you're still not divorced yet. You're still in the middle of a big, crazy divorce. So with that being said, how in the world are you going to fix yourself to even try to come on to your lawyer? If this goes badly, then guess what? There is no hope for you, because you won't be able to get another lawyer, especially not as good as Carr is going to be against, the Allure. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no way that this is, or technically she's really going to be going up against, what's her name? Dina. Yeah, so technically you're going to be going up against her. The last thing you want is to lose your lawyer. And why does he think everything has to, like, I feel like this is the way he gets everybody. I feel like this is what he does. He knows that he has this thing about him that's, a little bit of, sexiness. It's like bringing people, we got eyes, we can see, I don't like him, so I don't want to give him any, like, compliments, but my eyes still work.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, I was just like, Cara, don't do this, do not do this. I just felt like it was highly inappropriate for this supposed to be your lawyer, and then the fact that she had to fight this so hard, like the way I would have, like, sir, I'm your lawyer, this is not gonna happen. Like I don't know. I just didn't like it. I didn't like how she was smiling. I didn't like none of it. And then we already know what he been doing.
Yep. He definitely been sowing his seed all over Cali. He got that Cali seed. Okay. Y'all heard the Cali weed. He got that Cali seed. Okay. He been all over the place. But again, she's human. Who knows how long it's been since she been with a man, like a real man, like who knows? Okay. So, temptation is temptation. But again, we're grateful that she was able to restrain herself. He definitely could have messed it up for himself by going that route. Because at the end of the day, Cara giving me, I would get in my emotions about you. So, I would get a little crazy on you. So we are not, sir. We indeed are not going to do this. So anyway, I love her restraint. That's all I can say. But unfortunately, she ended up getting drunk AF. Okay. She was lit. She was lit. She had way too much to drink. She ends up getting pulled over by the police officer. And she's like literally trying to play with his name, knowing you drunk as hell and can't read this man's name. His name was Officer oh Jesus, I can't even say it.
Girl, you can't even say it.
Chris Blisky. I'm gonna get it one day. But it was. She said, "Is that what did she say? Is that Russian? No, not Russian. Did she say it was? I forgot what she said. But she was doing too much. She was drunk enough to where she had to go and go sit in the drunk tank over at the jail. And of course, she did the breathalyzer, all the things. Y'all see, she was drunk walking. And fortunately, Alberta ends up, because she gave her that business card earlier, Alberta Dome ends up coming and freeing her from the jail. And she's asking her, like, why? why are you trying to basically be in my life? And she was like, basically, I see how good you are. I know how capable you are. And you could literally come out on top. And we basically got a common enemy at this point. We basically don't F with the same person, Allura Grant. And I think we can rock out. I think we could do all of the things. So, any thoughts on the drinking and driving and getting pulled out of jail from Alberta?
Girl, thank goodness for Alberta for her, because she ain't got no other friends. She couldn't call Sebastian clearly because they ain't on good terms because I'm not coming. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I didn't think she was that throwed, like, except for when she started swerving. I said, oh, she throwed, like she is out there. I see. But when she left, it didn't feel like it. Felt like if she had been that drunk, her and Chase would have been over there in the bed. At this point, I would have rather you been rolling around in the sheets with Chase than to get a DUI. Like, come on now, a DWI.
Yeah, she was, at least she was singing, like she was vibing so hard that she was doing the whole look. What's that new little dance she was doing like this? she was doing it. She was doing it. And then we find out, like, okay, so after she gets out of jail, there's another day that goes by. And we finally get to meet Sebastian. Who the heck is Sebastian? So we find out that Sebastian basically was her donor, her sperm donor, who is Amabel's actual biological daddy. And Amabel calls him Uncle Sebastian. So Amabel don't really know that this is her real father, her biological father. But I'm pretty sure this was one of those cases where she went to him and was like, hey, I really want to have a baby. Can you help? And he volunteered to help. But then when he got into the situation with his gay lover and, she was like, I'm not taking my child over there to your house with your gay lover. You can do whatever you want, but I'm not having a baby involved. And so she took Amabel, out of his life. So we find out that, they're you can tell they're real friends because he was able to tell her about herself and, tell her about herself, tell her who she was and snap her back into reality. But she still had that sarcastic, of who she is, but he still brought her back to reality. EJ, any thoughts on Sebastian, the baby father?
Girl, I kept hearing a noise. That's why I'm looking around. I kept hearing something. I was trying to figure out what I was hearing, but I found it.
We are not watching it tonight, okay? I'm just saying.
Oh my God, that was so weird. But yeah, like, listen, at the end of the day, Car doesn't look like she strikes relationships with people. She doesn't look like she has a significant other, has had time for a significant other, probably didn't even want a significant other. And even if she tried to get one, she probably wouldn't be in the right, she probably wouldn't know how to communicate with that man. She's been so fixed and focused on trying to get back at Allure and the rest of them that all she sees is that. And so I don't think she's ever had time to develop any type of relationships like this, right? I don't think there's been a man in her life. And it seems like Sebastian was the man in her life, like probably like a really, really good friend. And a really good friend that when she decided she wanted to have a child, he was like, okay, I'll be your sperm donor. My only question is, did they do it traditionally or did they go to the fertility clinic? I'm just curious. But I was glad that she apologized. He knows her, clearly. He knows exactly who she is. And I think that makes a great friendship because she doesn't have to be somebody different to be his friend, because he knows that she ain't ish and that she is crazy and that she just is who she is. But at the same time, she doesn't get a pass when it comes to doing things that are disrespectful when you go too far. Because I may know you and I may know who you are, but there is a hard line of where we draw the line at certain things. And I didn't appreciate what you did. And when we found out exactly what it was, like, girl, because he didn't have a backup inhaler, like, are you kidding me right now? It has to be more than this. Like, I don't know if it was more than that. Like, I don't know if there was a jealousy, like, okay, now you're kind of taking my best friend. I don't know. Like, I feel like it just had to be more than that. But if Car is that petty and if that's what it was, girl, please, like, you didn't want no friends then. How I see it.
Yeah, and I'll say if she had an actual, like, if I don't remember if they said whether or not baby girl had an actual asthma attack, but at the end of the day, you should have held, Sebastian responsible for the asthma pump, not the new boyfriend, fiance, husband. You know what I mean? But again, like you said, EJ, was probably most likely Cara trying to get her friend back. Like how you take my friend from me? Like he was my friend before he was your friend. And so, that's what that part was given for me. But lastly, we see where, because like they literally gave us almost a good half an hour on Cara. And lastly, we see where she realizes, and that's the thing I like, she notices that her daughter is not happy at that school. She's just kind of tolerating the school. And she says, well, look, I know you get ready to move to another grade. And there's also a chance that you can go to another school. Like you can transfer and go out to this other school, a nice school, somewhere that you'll feel comfortable with other kids that are just like you. And so we find out in this moment, because Amabel has to write some form of essay to get into the school. She talks about how Cara was a cutter. And this is with the glove. This is why she wear the gloves. This is why she wear the long sleeves. Like she was a cutter. So we wouldn't have known that had this conversation not came about, which again for me gave me even though I still be looking at Cara sideways, I kind of like somewhat understand why she's getting to, or I will learn more why she's getting, or she is the way that she is. But just any thoughts on the last little bit of Cara and her discovery, they're revealing to us, some of the challenges that Cara actually faced.
I actually just appreciated the fact that she has these conversations with her daughter, and that her daughter knows about this, and that it's not something that she tried to hide. I appreciated the way that she's like, I taught you better than this. Like, basically, that side is boring. How are we going to get to like, what are you supposed to do? And then she digs a little bit deeper and is like, okay, we go with the feelings, like how it made me feel. And she says, like, I wondered where I would be if you were to unalive yourself. And that was such a real moment. And I feel like that was such a human moment. I feel like when they show us with her daughter, that it makes Cara actually a human, like it really, really makes her someone that you're just like, dang, she really is just hurting inside. And that really did hurt her when they decided they were going to run off and not take her with them. It's almost like she wants to be chosen and she wants friends. And she felt like they were maybe close, like they may not have been friends, but maybe we were like we're in the same boat together. We're all women at this firm of all these men. So why not? Like, why can't you choose me to go with you as well? Like, I actually felt for her at that moment, because that's when it like really, really clicked to me that she just wanted to belong.
Right.
Then, like, even if we didn't have to be friends, but I just wanted to belong and feel a part of this group.
Yeah, absolutely, EJ, definitely. Well, we're gonna get to two more segments. But before I do that, just want to say hello to everyone that is tapped in and tuning in. For those of you that are on our EJ and the TV Junkie channels or the All Things Ruthless channels, feel free to come on over here to Talk That Talk Media. Now, you may not be able to comment as soon as you hop on, but go ahead, hit that subscribe button, give it a few minutes, and then you'll be able to chat it on up with us over here on Talk That Talk Media. But I do appreciate those of you who have already subscribed to Talk That Talk Media. And I'm just checking to see if we have any particular comments, any thoughts, and y'all feel free. Don't just we're not making a conversation about us. Y'all feel free. Drop your thoughts on All's Fair. Drop them in the comments, okay? P. Bronson says, that is something I used to tell my children. If you sit in the corner by yourself and play, someone will come to you and you are in control of what y'all do during playtime. Absolutely. Absolutely. Very, very right. Very, very wise advice. Hey there, Tamika Steen, Candy Love, Patrice Halson. Hey there, thank you for coming through. David Williams, thank you for coming through. Let's see. Just looking for a couple of more comments, y'all. Okay. Demetria, I haven't watched the show yet. I love watching you, EJ, anyway. Oh, thank you, Demetria.
Oh, thank you.
See, tonight we're not even arguing.
We never argue, Tika.
Or disagreeing, agreeing to disagree.
Listen, unless it involves that one person.
Right. Yes, we already know. I don't even know if I want to come on Sunday because I already know it's going to be some shenanigans. But we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. But with that being said, again, thank y'all. And now we're going to move on because there was one actual case that we actually, got to see them, practice other than Kara quitting or fire quitting. Like, other than that, we did see another case. And this one involved Brooke Shields. Like, do y'all remember Brooke Shields from was it Lagoon and oh my God, she was that model. She was kicking it with Michael Jackson back in the day. She was all the things. And so anyway, we see where now this I got to ask this question, y'all. Oh my God, you marry somebody for better or for worse, right? Mm-hmm. Then you decide that because that person has Alzheimer's does not recognize you. You basically want to get a divorce. You want to go and live your life. You say that you can't live your life while you're still married to him. But is it true? Can you not live your life? Because you're not the sole provider or the caretaker. Like, he's in a nursing home. So what is stopping you from really going out there and dating or, traveling, as she said that she wanted to do, she wants to be detached. She wants to be separated from him in order to be able to live her life. But her daughter's like, look, I don't care what you're talking about, mama. I'm in charge of his money at this point because you signed a prenup and you try to divorce him. Basically, you're going to be left with whatever you brought to the table, which is a little bit of nothing because they met, straight out of college. So EJ, thoughts on this whole prenup? And is it okay? Like, I thought it was for better or for worse, but clearly with her, it's definitely not given for better or for worse. So what are you thinking? And her name is Juliana Morse.
Okay, so I thought this was such an interesting case and actually brings up such an interesting topic that I would love to explore one day with more people, just because it was kind of mind-blowing the way this kind of happened. Because on one hand, you do understand where she's coming from, but then on the other hand, it feels so selfish. So I'm just going to tell you like my overall thoughts. And as someone who is married, the first thing I tried to do was flip the roles, right? If this was her that was at the nursing home and that was going through Alzheimer's and he was the one that wanted, and she had the prenup and he was the one who wanted this, how would this really go to the audience? The audience would probably say that he was trash. They would probably say there would probably be no empathy for him whatsoever, right? And I feel like it's the same exact thing. I feel like the only reason why we have somewhat empathy for her is because the way they present it. It's presented like I'm a wife of 40 years who gave up their career, their life in order to be this wife and mom. When the truth of the matter is that I feel like that's a choice. I feel like if you truly wanted to use that degree and do something different, like you probably could have, like I feel like those are conversations that people should have when they decide to get married and how things are going to work out. Like when we have children, am I going to be at the house? So I feel like that was a choice. So that didn't like sway me. I didn't have an emotional attachment to that, but I get how some people could, right? So overall, when it's all said and done, I just thought it was highly selfish because at the end of the day, when you take those vows, you say for better, for worse, for sickness, in sickness and in health, for richer, for poor, all of those things, right? And if you truly love this man and there was nothing ill that was going on, like all the rest of the cases, the men were just trash. In this case, it doesn't sound like that. It just sounds like he is just a victim of his mind, losing it, and that's not his fault, right? And for you not to be willing to sit this one out and be like, okay, but this is the man that I married and I'm going to stick this out with him. Even your daughter is saying, listen, go travel, go do whatever it is that you want to do. Nobody's telling you not to do that. What we're saying is that you're not going to get this divorce because you're not going to get this money that you think you're about to get. It's almost like the audacity for you to say, okay, well, I put in 40 years and now I want to tap out and I just want you to give me my residuals. Like, no, like, why do you think that you deserve residuals when there's no reason for you to, like, you signed this prenup. You should have never signed the prenup if that's the case. Like, right. And I just didn't have any sympathy for it, Tika. I'm sorry. Like, I wanted to try to find I wanted to find that silver line and try to be like, oh, okay, I can see it from this side or this side. And while in my mind, yes, I can, I just wasn't rocking with it. I just thought it was a horrible decision, a horrible choice. And I thought it was so selfish because the next step is that I'm going to go jump in bed with somebody else. I'm going to go jump and be with somebody with another man. And if he did this, I'm telling you, it just wouldn't play out well. If he did this, it wouldn't even be a thought process. If he did this, he would be the most horrible person in the world. And I don't know. I agree with her daughter. Like, no, this is your punishment. You want to go, then go without nothing. Go with what you came with. Okay, nobody's stopping you from leaving, but yet you're still here trying to get this money. Girl, that just irritated. This case irritated me so much because it was just sad.
Yeah, it was definitely sad. And then I also kind of put myself, like you said, reverse the role. What if it were a man doing it to the woman? I put myself in the shoes of that man who has that Alzheimer's, who does not really know what's going on, who does not know. Clearly, if they were together for 40 years, she was his heart. You know what I mean? He truly, clearly loved her, regardless of whatever ups and downs they may have had. Clearly, you know, because he only had Alzheimer's for 6 years. So, you know, to me, that was like the ultimate betrayal of her. Why would you do this to him? And Dina was sitting over there saying, well, she shouldn't have never signed the prenup and it should have been for better or worse. You know what I mean? Like this marriage is for better or worse. This is the worst right now for you. And, you know, she just, you know, she was not trying to hear it. Juliana was not hearing it. So yeah, Juliana, I'm sorry, but this was like the worst case, the best case, but the worst case, because it's a real life scenario out there. And I'm pretty sure somebody in real time is thinking about leaving their spouse because they have some type of illness, something that, you know, that they can't come back from. Their mind is probably gone or racking with Alzheimer's, and, you know, I'm pretty sure somebody is out there trying to walk away from a marriage that was beautiful once upon a time. So yeah, this was a great one. But the reason I got it titled up here, the prenup, is because Liberty was also contemplating getting she didn't want a prenup. She was like, oh, me and Reggie don't need a prenup. Well, Reggie said, oh, let's pull up. Let's have dinner at my vegan specialized restaurant this week. And he pulls out a prenup after she just got through big stepping and saying, I'm not signing a prenup. Oh, we don't need a prenup. We love each other. And he was like, no, because at the end of the day, if something happens to my company, I don't want all that debt to fall on you, you know, and some of the things that he was saying, you know, it made sense because he has his own, he's a doctor, you know, he's partnering in this whole restaurant situation. I'm sure he has other investments. So it's not as if he needs her money. I think he really, truly loves her, especially after that last episode where we saw him, you know, he was so hurt by her just walking out and not, you know, accepting his hand in marriage. You know what I mean? So, EJ, any thoughts on the prenup as well as the conversation between Reggie as well as Liberty?
Yeah, you know, I'm not against prenups at all. Like, I feel like it's okay to have prenups. It's just okay to negotiate those prenups because you never know where you're going to be at a certain time. My problem with some of these prenups are that people who come into a marriage with a lot of things tend to make that prenup very one-sided. And there's usually always some powerful man that says if you cheat on me, you can't have anything, while they're essentially cheating on you the whole time. I mean, I'm not saying that's the way it always is. I'm just saying like that's the way it always plays out in a lot of these things, right? So I just want to make it clear that I'm okay with the whole idea of a prenup. And I would have thought that Liberty, being this lawyer, this divorce attorney, and seeing all of these things, also would be okay with the prenup and would understand the value of the prenup, and that it really has nothing to do with do I love you or not, or do I think this is going to end or not. It's really just a protection. But what needs to happen is that it needs to protect us both. Like it needs to give us both a solid foundation of, if something should happen, if we get to this point where we no longer are going to be married, because divorce is a very real thing, then how do we separate our assets to make it fair for each of us who love each other right now, very much so. Like we're at the, like if we're about to get married, that means that we're at the height of that relationship, right? That point where we just are feeling each other and we ready to spend the rest of our lives with each other. We ain't at that stage when we hate each other yet, right? So while we're here, why not make it just balanced? Why not make it balanced, or make it to the point where it works for both of us? It doesn't have to always be such a negative thing. And I was very shocked that Liberty just didn't want it when she said that they did. I was like, really? You see these divorces all the time. And don't you think that every last single one of those women that walked into that room to get a divorce, don't you think they thought the same thing? Don't you think that they thought that they would be married for forever? Nobody gets married to think that they're going to get a divorce. Like, it's just not what people think, right? Unless I'm just marrying you so you get a green card or something. No, that's the only way that I know that I'm about to run out of here and get a doggone divorce, right? Because I'm not marrying you for love. But people who are in love get married to stay married, not to get divorced. So I was just like, girl, what are you doing? And what are you thinking? Like, you've just seen too much of this. So when he does it, I was like, oh, okay, cool. When he's like, listen, but this is just a starting point. We can change it. We can do whatever. Then that shows you that he's really looking out for both of their best interests. And there's nothing wrong with looking out for both people's best interests. I'm telling you, it's a lot of people who wish they had got a prenup. Sorry, I'm just saying, like, it's a lot of people that probably wish that they had just took the time and stopped being in the mindset of, oh, it's negative. You don't love me if you think that that's not what that is. That's not what that is.
Exactly. People have the tendency to say, oh, you're preparing for the worst before we even get started. Like, no, we're not preparing for the worst. We're just, making sure that everybody is good at the end of the day. And I, like you, EJ, I like that he gave her the opportunity to read it and say, hey, we can fine tune it however you feel that we should. So I like that he wasn't just trying to throw this on her and say, just sign it. No, he was like, because of course she was an attorney. She's supposed to read it anyway. And so, he was like, listen, this is what it is. And, I'm okay with it. And I don't know if she thought that by asking him for a prenup, it would make him feel some type of way. I don't know what her reasoning behind not asking for it initially was, but I'm glad. And then her crew, Allura and them, were like, girl, I know you're not about to go into this situation without a prenup. Like, you should know better. So thankfully, Reggie is the man that he is. He comes and they had that conversation. And of course, they probably smashed on the table. Well, I ain't mad at it. Go, Reggie. But yeah, I love their relationship so far. So far, it's a lot of give and take, a lot of compromising within the relationship, and both of them are okay with it. They seem super happy. So I think this was like the somewhat only healthy relationship in here, other than Dina and Ed. Unfortunately, Ed is going through some stuff, but this seems like the most healthiest relationship, out of the whole project right now. But finally, y'all, we get to this chick. Milan, I am not your friend, honey. I don't know why. I don't know what the heck is Allure's motives. I don't know why she is drawn to Milan after what she did to her. Yeah, you were my assistant, or you were the secretary, or whatever her job description was. You were placed in that position to work for us, not to work my man. But Allure, I think Allure, do you think Allure has something else up her sleeves, EJ? Because why is she so okay with all of this? Like, and then she goes to tell her, you need to let him know that you're pregnant, and you have to stand, basically telling her stand on business like it's your baby. And I was just like, I'm not understanding. Maybe I'm missing something with Allure, but it's given she has something else up her sleeves, and that's all I say about that. But what do you think, EJ?
No, I agree. I feel like there's an ulterior motive. I just haven't quite figured out her angle for it just yet. But I do feel like there's an ulterior motive. At first, I felt like, oh, okay, we're going to fatten you up. We're going to have this baby, and then I'm taking this baby because this is my baby. You know, like, in like I deserve this baby. Like, I felt like she was going to somehow try to take the girl baby. But then it started to feel like no, like there's something else with it, but I don't know what it is, you know? And then this fool up here acting like he's so happy. You see what I'm saying? He just don't mind swinging that thing all around town. Now I'm so happy to have a baby. Sir, you're about to get a big surprise if Allure, these babies.
If they fertile, if they come through, he gonna have 3 kids, and only one, and none of them gonna be his. But do you think also though, EJ, with Allure doing all that, she got big fast, so time is moving in this series. Like, time is literally moving, because the last time we saw her, she was out there jumping. I'm talking about Milan. She was out there jumping rope and, you know, fit, flat stomach, and now she's showing. So anyway, I wonder if Milan is gonna flip the script on Allure. Allure has her own motives, or her own, her own motives. And I'm thinking Milan, she might flip the script and get back with that man. I don't know. What do y'all think in the comments? If y'all seen the show, let us know in the comments. Do y'all think that Milan is gonna end up back with Chase? Or is she gonna stand on business, and this is just gonna be my child and I'm raising it by myself, you know? So this is crazy. This was crazy. Yeah. So we don't know, but we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out what the motives and intentions and everything else are. And so when the police came, when the detective came, when she pulled up, I was like, I know she ain't coming up there on her about those eggs or those embryos that she done stole.
They gonna take them back.
She can't take them back, but she can investigate. Detective Connie Morrow, portrayed by Teyana Taylor, who was in Bones, Snowfall, Agent of the Shield. She's been in some of everything, even some of Tyler Perry stuff. But she's the detective, Connie Morrow. And she on the case, but she's there for the unalivement of Walton, the dude that roofied Emerald's drink. And she's looking like she got some real good evidence. I'm like, oh shoot, because she sits down and she talks to Allure, and she says, I got the phone records that show that, you know, your phone number pinged off over in this area. And Allure says, I got an explanation for it all. I was at my baby daddy, I was at my ex-husband's baby mama's house. Like, she literally, you know, she said, hey, this is where I was. So any thoughts, EJ, and why they looking at everybody? They literally are checking out these women for the case of the unalivement of the roofie guy, Mr. Walton.
You know, I just felt like this is just one of those cases again where, because this man had money or whatever, you're gonna look into his case, but y'all kind of just dismiss. We don't have enough evidence when this man actually committed a crime, and now that he's unalive. Here's the crazy part about it is that you don't know how many times he has done this. Like, this seems like something he is very, very much familiar with and comfortable with. And it could be any number of people who want to get back at him. Okay. You just happen to have someone who was knowledgeable enough to actually report him and to do all the things to try to bring him to justice, right? But anybody could be traumatized right now. Their life could be spiraling. We know all the things that can happen when somebody goes through something like that. And you don't know. They could be over there like just waiting for the perfect time to get back at this man. But y'all coming straight to them because, oh, y'all were because of her clearly being the person that actually had something to say and tried to take him down, and because they were investigating them because you weren't investigating them, and now you over here doing more investigating on this than you were doing when he was out here roofing these people. Because the way I see it, you should have been trying to find somebody else who maybe can corroborate, like, because if I get more people to say that this also happened to me, then you can start to really build a case. But no, y'all didn't care about none of that. So, sorry to that man. Bye.
Sorry, not sorry at all.
Nobody cares about him.
Yeah, but she thinks she found out some evidence, and then Dina walked up in there like, "Oh no, you don't talk to the police without an attorney," and so that was the end of that conversation. But then we also see Dina is dealing with her stuff at home, and unfortunately, and we about to wrap this thing up, you guys, but we finally see that Ed has let Dina know that the doctor says there's nothing else that can be done. This is it. He told me to say my goodbyes to my friends, my family. And she's like, well, isn't there more trials? Like, aren't there other things that we can try? And he's like, no, this is it. There's nothing else that can be done. So Dina, she is calm, and he was like, I need you to be strong. I need you to be strong. And she's strong in front of him, but then she walks downstairs, prepares her some tea. And honey, that tea did not make it into the glass because she literally smashed and crashed out. She smashed up everything that she could. She threw everything that she could. And just rightfully so, because she's hurt. Like, this is her longtime partner, her husband. Like, she couldn't even cheat on the man, and she went and told him she couldn't cheat, which is why I think she was so affected by the other case of Juliana. I think this is why, because she's like, I'm here and I'm taking care of my husband. It's for better or worse. He's going through all of this stuff, and this selfish woman is over here not really caring or just trying to walk away from her long life partner. So any thoughts? And I absolutely felt so bad for Dina. She broke down. She's always been the strong one, but this was one of those moments she had to break it down. She broke all of the way down.
Yeah. This was sad. It was really sad. And I think that case did affect her. You could see it all in her face because at the end of the day, a lot of people, and I'm not saying all people, but a lot of people take their marriage vows very, very seriously. And in sickness and in health really does mean something to them. And if a partner gets sick, you want to be there for them and you want to be there through it all. And regardless of what the diagnosis is, regardless of the knowing that it's probably coming to an end, you never want to feel like it's coming to an end. Like, you never want to have to let go of that person or have to say goodbye to that person, or even want to give up hope that you'll have to live life without that person. Like, I can never imagine waking up not having my person with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can never imagine that. So I can imagine for her that that's exactly what it is. Like, I don't have a choice but to face this now. I don't have a choice but to have to think about letting go. Like, and that has to be hard and hurtful, especially when the person has decided that they are also ready to just accept it. And that's okay. Like, nobody's saying that that's wrong, but because sometimes you have to come to that acceptance part of it, right? And she knew that he had accepted it. Like, that's the way I read it. Like, you could tell that he had finally accepted it, which is why he's telling her and why he's talking to her and letting her know, because now he really is trying to get his affairs in order and he wants her to be strong. And he knows his wife. And then she has her breakdown, but she can't have that breakdown in front of him because he just asked her to be strong. Now, granted, I don't know about throwing all that glass around Tika. She ain't got no shoes on. She is breaking stuff. Do she have a maid? Because or maybe they don't say maid anymore. Do she have a cleaning lady or cleaning person? Because who's gonna clean all that stuff up?
Right. Right. Yeah. Whoever the cleaning person is, they gonna be like, what the heck is going on up in here? But yeah, I hate this for Dina because she just does her best. She tries to, from what I've seen, she tries to be, a good person. She tries to be that person there for everyone else. And, it's just sad to watch her and Ed have to, to go through this. It's another real life story. People are living and dealing with these things every single day. So I love how Glenn Close literally, she gave it. Like, she literally gave it. The tears were heartfelt. They actually had me choked up because I was like, oh my God. Like, I was feeling her because just one, working in the career that I used to work in, two, having family members that I had to care for that literally were transitioning. You don't have to experience it, but if you have some sort of human or some sort of soul, you're going to feel, these different emotions. But yeah, I was sad. But he had to finally tell her, because when the doctor told him the episode before that you needed to tell Dina, he was holding on to it. Like, he was literally holding on to it. I'm like, well, when are you going to tell her what's going on? And so he finally released it. So, like you said, EJ, he had to get some closure as well. He had to come to accept it. And it seems like that's what he did. And now he's giving her an opportunity. Now she has to accept it. But I wish he would have said, can you call some of your friends? Because I need some people to be around when I tell you what I have to tell you. But, it is what it is. He did it how he did it. And, I'm just hoping this doesn't affect her. This kind of selfish of me, but I hope this doesn't affect her later on when it comes to working on the Laurel's case. And, hopefully, I just hope it doesn't affect her in general, but especially when it comes to, handling the Laurel's money. Like, don't crash out too hard. But anyway, y'all, that was literally it. That's how it all went down on All's Fair, season 1, episode 6. If you are enjoying All's Fair, let us know. Comment. Let us know if you're enjoying it. And when you come back, replay game. Whenever y'all come back, y'all see this video up here. Let us know how y'all are feeling about this episode. Any of the episodes, matter of fact, because we're on episode 5, and I think we got 2 more episodes.
2 more, I think. 2
more to go. So either way, come back to Talk That Talk Media and let us know how you guys are feeling about All's Fair. With that being said, I'm going to do one final scroll through the comments, and then we're going to be up out of this thing, EJ, because we have literally done what we came to do at this moment. P. Brunson says, that is something. Oh, I'm sorry. I did read that one already. Motown investor, men leave their wives when they get sick. Well, that's selfish. That's just my comment. That's my thought, my opinion. Sliding through, hit the like button, and I need to catch up on the show. Absolutely, Sugar Brown set 37. Definitely slide through. Keep coming back. We have other content that you guys should enjoy as well. But yeah, definitely catch up on the show. Let us know how you feel about it once you actually check it out. Demetri Richburg hasn't watched the show yet. Oh, I read that one. I'm sorry. Let me get all these extra stars down at the bottom. Candy said, was this a lavender thing? What she mean by that? Did you notice something lavender, EJ? Okay. Candy will tell us later, I guess.
Yeah, she gonna have to.
Yeah, because I don't know what that means, but it's all good. But that was pretty much it for the comments. That was pretty much it. Again, y'all, we thank you guys for coming through, hanging out with us, kicking it right here at Talk That Talk Media. EJ, you have any final thoughts, any expectations of the next episode, and anything else you want to talk about? Whatever you want to let everybody know about on your channels and all that things.
Yeah, I have no expectations for the next episode. Like I literally had, like I didn't expect to get this whole car thing, so I literally know what's gonna happen. I don't know where we're going. Or I guess I could say that I do want to just go ahead and get Allure's thing together. Like, let's just go ahead and get rid of Chase because I'm super over him. And I would maybe like to know what Allure's end game is with Milan. I would actually like to see a little more of Milan, and that's just me wanting to see Teyana Taylor. Don't really care for the character that much, but love Teyana, love TT.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Love her.
Right.
So I would be okay with seeing more of her. I really expected her to be something different in this. And so it just really saddened me that this is what, I didn't expect this. But anywho, but other than that, yeah, I'm enjoying watching it so far. I thought this was probably one of the better episodes. Actually, I thought it was a really good episode.
Yeah.
And then, and as far as as far as my channel is concerned, just family business. Y'all already know we got to go live tonight to talk about the family business, talk about this latest episode. So please make sure that you come through and hang out with me to talk family business. That's it.
Yeah, I will not be there for the family business live because I just already know it's gonna be a whole bunch of slander. But y'all make sure y'all head over to EJ TV Junkie and check. No, I'm just playing. Y'all check out family business. Check out with family business. It was really a dope episode. I can't even lie. I was like, damn, Donna. Like, did you really? But anyway, yeah, definitely though. But for real, no expectations, just like you, EJ, because you just don't know what's going to happen next. Like they give you what they're basically going to give you, and then you have to it's kind of like left to your imagination of what could possibly happen next. There's so many different scenarios that could actually happen, and I'm just here for all of it. I'm definitely here for all of it. And on All Things Ruthless, the secondary channel, I am talking the Oval, all things the Oval. I have a couple more short videos that I'm going to drop for the Oval. I'll be joining the ladies on Sunday for the live discussion of family business. That's if they allow me in. You know, they might just block me because I have a few choice words to say. We'll just see. But, you know, just in case. But with that being said, I'm going to get up out of here because I know EJ has to go and start her next live. And we up out of here, y'all. TDT, Talk That Talk Media, we thank y'all so much for coming through. Y'all have an amazing night. Peace.
Talk that. Talk that. Talk that. Talk that. Talk that. Talk that.